All right, welcome back to Prayer of the Barren Womb, part 32 of the Four Rivers of Eden. In my last section, in part 31 of this series, I suggested that there was perhaps a tragic nobility in the heart of Sarah as she offers Hagar to her dearly loved husband, Abraham. And because these two stories, and we've looked at this very carefully, that these two stories of Adam and Eve in the garden are being replayed for us with Abraham and Sarah here in the land of promise. That these are two stories, but they are echad, they are one. They are two sides of the same coin. The Tardema of Adam is to be understood in light of the Tardema of Abraham and vice versa. And what I want to suggest is that if we can extract deeper understanding from Adam to Abraham and vice versa, that we can also extract deeper understanding of the relationship between Sarah and Eve. If we see a tragic nobility in the motives of Sarah in offering the forbidden fruit to her husband, might there also be a tragic nobility, or maybe not tragic at this point in human history, because they have yet to fall, but there's a nobility, there's a high purpose that Eve has in mind. I think one of the things that we can extract from the story of Sarah and superimpose it upon the story of Eve is a nobility, a high-mindedness, a greater good. The motive in Eve's heart, excuse me, the motive in Eve's heart can be diagnosed, can be understood more deeply by looking at the motive in Sarah. So what I want to do for you today is I want to share with you a dialogue. This is a purely imaginary dialogue that I wrote several years ago. It's called The Dream of Adam. And I didn't want to move forward in the Four Rivers of Adam, and I didn't want to start investigating the story of Lot, without taking a time out to evaluate the motives of Sarah, because we're going to see this interesting parallel between noble motives and base motives between the men and the women in our Genesis storyline. I think I'll develop that further. We'll see it real shortly again here in the story of Lot. But what I want to suggest to you is that the noble, high motives of Sarah can also be overlaid in the story of Eve. And so I want to share this with you. It's a simple two-part dialogue between Adam and Eve. The cast of characters are as follows. Adam is, of course, Adam. Eve, in this story, I will refer to as Isha. Isha was her name before she got her second name after the fall. So in this dialogue, her name will be Isha. The adversary will be referred into this dialogue as the Burning One. A scriptural reference for my choice for that would be Ezekiel 28, 11 through 19. The angels in this dialogue will be referred to as sons of Elohim. For this choice, you can read Job 1, 6 and 7, and also chapter 38, 1 through 8. Yahovah will be referred to in this dialogue as Yahovah, the Father, the Creator, the Most High, the Mighty One. And here's my premise. My premise is that what is called the fall of man took longer than the 15-second conversation that is recorded for us in Genesis chapter 3. This was a seduction not of the body, but of the mind. The Burning One hinted at hidden knowledge that Yahovah was keeping from Adam and Isha, and that in order for man and his wife to fully realize their potential as God imagers, they needed to be initiated into the secret mysteries to become fully mature. Okay, so I will begin this dialogue with Adam. Isha? Yes, Adam. You seem to be troubled and distant, and the reason is hidden from me. Have you been talking with the Burning One? Yes, Adam, I have been. Isha, I'm troubled by the changes that I'm seeing you since you've begun talking with him. What do you mean? Well, ever since you were first brought to me, looking into your spirit has been like looking into a clear pool of water, and nothing was hidden from me. But since you've been talking with the Burning One, it's as if something has stirred up that clear pool of water, and many parts of you have become clouded to me that I can no longer see into you the way I once could. No, Adam, you're still seeing into me just as clearly as you ever have. But what you are now seeing is what I am seeing when I look inward. My own spirit has become clouded and troubled to me. The Burning One has been telling me many things that make me feel as if a second self is awakening within me. It feels as if I'm spinning and falling inside, and I'm being torn in half. What has he been telling you? Oh, so many things, Adam. He insinuates that there are hidden meanings just below the surface of everything. His suggestions crash into me like waves, and I have nowhere to run. Adam, what is death? I don't know what death is, Isha, but when Yahovah was instructing me about the trees in the garden, he made it very clear to me that death is not something he wants for us. While we were standing at the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, I was given a flash of insight. And in an instant, it seemed as if all light and warmth, all joy and peace, and all that is good in creation fled from me. My strength left me, and I fell to my knees in revulsion and dread. Since then, I haven't even come close to that tree, and I wish you would do the same. I warned you about that tree, Isha. Stay away from it. Don't even touch it. I think in some way that the tree belongs to the Burning One. I think you may be right. It's the only place I see him or talk with him. I asked him what death was, and he told me that it was nothing. It wasn't even real. In fact, he said it was the secret desire of the Creator for us to taste the fruit of the tree. How can that be? Yahovah explicitly instructed me that we are not to eat of the fruit of that tree. I told him the same thing. I told him that we weren't even to touch the fruit of the tree. The Burning One asked me, why then did he allow a tree of such perfection and beauty, with fruit that would make us wise, to be placed in the garden? He suggested that perhaps there was a deeper reason why the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was the centerpiece of this entire realm. I told him that I'd been pondering the same question, and he smiled at me and told me that I was wise beyond my experience, and I had the potential to become so much wiser than I am right now. In fact, he told me that this was the one reason that I was brought forth for you as a helpmate, to help you consider things that would never enter your mind. Well, he sure got that right. What he's telling you is unimaginable to me. How can these things be? The Burning One said that while you and I have been created in the image of Yahovah, we are still not fully formed as his imagers. It's as if you and I are seeds of his image, but we have not yet sprouted, blossomed, and borne the fruit of his image. He told me that at the very center, at the burning core of our Creator, his true essence is untamed, wild, and free. He sought the counsel of no one when he created all the different realms. He asked the advice of none of his myriad sons when he decreed our existence. He simply acted independently of anyone or anything, and out of the power of his own free will, he brought forth all that is. He decreed our existence, and we exist. This is the pattern that the Father laid down for all those who would become fully mature as imagers of Yahovah, to walk in the power of their own self-will. This is the deep and mysterious reason for the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, as well as the reason that we have the power to choose. If we would become full imagers of Yahovah, to know the deep wisdom hidden in his secret heart, to understand good and evil, then we too must walk in the pattern that our Father established for us at his initiation of all creation. We too must choose the path of independence. Right now, our relationship with Yahovah is like our relationship with our beautiful animals. We love and we delight in them, and to a limited degree, they love and delight in us as well, but we know that they will never be our equals. It's the same with our Father. He loves us and we love him, and we do as we are told because he is our Creator. And I suppose that we could remain happy in this garden in our childhood state forever. But in our Father's secret heart, he wants us to become more to him than our animals are to us. He secretly desires us to use the gift of choice that he has given us to walk in the pattern that he established at creation. It's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that gives us the opportunity to exercise the power of our free will. And in stepping beyond the boundaries that Yahovah has decreed, we become like him, untamed, wild, and free. It is in laying hold of the fruit of this tree and eating it that we will step into our maturity as imagers of God. This is our primal act of creation. By so doing, we create our own path, our own destiny. Imagine how our knowledge will increase and the wisdom we will gain. We will stand in the burning center of our Father's heart as full imagers and equals. We will know what it is to be good and evil. We will become like the Most High. Isha, if this is so, then why hasn't Yahovah simply said so? What? Why are you smiling at me like that? The Burning One said that you would say exactly that. He knew that without me, you would never see the true path to our maturity. To open this doorway and to reveal this path to you is the reason I was brought forth. To take you by the hand and together to cross this threshold into mystery and the deep unknown is my service to you as your helpmate. In so doing, the deepest realms of the Father's heart will be open to us, and we will realize his fullest and hidden desire for us. I understand now why you feel as if you're spinning and falling inside and being torn in half. Well was this creature named the Burning One, for he twists and braids his words into the shape of fire. The Burning One is too subtle for us, Isha. I must speak with the Father on these things. Adam, don't you understand? I can tell you right now that the Father's Torah will stand. Don't you see? The one thing that Yahovah cannot do is reveal his secret heart to us. In doing so, he closes the only door that could be open to us and destroys the only point of access we have into the deep and hidden mysteries of his heart. He had to give us real law with real prohibitions and real penalties in place so that it would take all the courage we possess and all the power that we have in our free wills to act out independently of him. The beauty of the tree and the perfection of the fruit is all the proof one needs to do this. We use the power of our free will and we begin our journey to becoming all that Yahovah intends for us. Has the Burning One also crossed this threshold and walked this path himself? Yes, Adam, he has. And what has been revealed to him of the Father's secret heart? He would not speak of it. Besides, he told me that what he'd learned of the Father was not a concept that could be transferred through words, but only wisdom that could be experienced and understood through doing. All who would walk the secret path of mystery into the deep things of the Most High must begin the journey as he did, not knowing the outcome, but taking that bold and courageous first step. He told me that he alone in all the realms of creation, among all the myriad sons of the Father, had the courage to take this path, that he is the forerunner and firstborn of a new breed of creation, those who create their own path and do as they will. They seek the permission of no one, and in every choice, they replicate the pattern of the Creator in his initial act of creation. The Burning One told me that since he took that first brave step, many sons of the Most High have joined him on this path of untamed and wild freedom. Isha, you seem to be forgetting that we can also use the power of our free will to hear and obey the Torah of Yahovah. We can use the power of our free will to let mysteries remain hidden and trust in the goodness and love of our Father. We can trust our Father to reveal anything in the deep realms of his heart if and when he chooses to reveal them to us. Adam, I can't live like that, like the puppy of Yahovah that he gently pats behind the head and scratches behind the ear. The mystery of the tree has become a burning itch in my heart that I can never scratch. It's all I can think of. Did you know that I've begun to dream of the tree? In my dreams, I hear the wind gently caressing its leaves, and it speaks to me in a whispered language of profound wisdom that I can almost understand. Its fruit drops into my hands with the wings of a butterfly. As I bite into it, I taste all the colors of creation. Did you know that yellow tastes like happiness, and green tastes like strength? That purple tastes like revelation? In my dream, the fruit of the tree tastes like truth. Oh, Isha, what are we going to do? The burning one has set a trap and we are snared. Adam, if you love me, then come with me. Take my hand. Let's walk this path together. I can't do this alone. You will never be alone, Isha. You are flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. I can never leave you. We've been one in all things from the beginning, and so we will always be. My love for you, Isha, is beyond question. I love you beyond words, beyond meaning, beyond measure. I love you more than my next breath, my next heartbeat. I loved you before you even were. I loved the hope of you and the dream of you. When Yahovah caused all his earth realm creatures to pass before me, it was for more than to just see what I would name them. It was for me to realize that he had made me the absolute sovereign and king of this realm. And I saw that for every male, Yahovah had prepared a female suitable to him. But for me, there was nothing found suitable. I was a king, but without my queen. All that Yahovah has made, he declared good, except one thing. It was not good for me to be alone, so he caused a deep sleep to fall upon me. And I too had a dream, Isha. There's much about my dream that mystifies me, but in my dream, it was given into my spirit to understand that the vision that I was looking upon was the crowning achievement of all the works of Yahovah. In all the ages to come, there would never be a higher order of creation. This being was the perfect distillation of undiluted and unapproachable beauty. This being wore a crown of 12 stars and was clothed with every color of the rainbow and danced with such grace upon the arc of the moon. I was awestruck at the glory and perfection of my vision. My heart twisted and wrung out with depths of love and longing that I had not known were even possible. As the progress of the dance caused the vision to recede from me, my heart was filled with darker emotions that have no name. I fell to my knees and sobbed with such agony that it shook the foundations of the earth. When I woke from my dream, I instantly knew that everything was different, that I was no longer whole. As I lifted my eyes, my dream became reality. I recognized you at once. It was you, Isha, that I saw in the vision. For the second time, my heart burst with such love and longing and joy as I saw you walking towards me, hand in hand with our Maker. You may think of yourself as last, lowest, and least of all Yahovah's creations, but Yahovah has revealed something to me about how his kingdom is to be governed. In his kingdom, the last shall be first, and the greatest of his kingdom shall be least and lowest and servant of all. In some way that I still don't understand, you, Isha, are the crowning achievement of all the works of Yahovah. You are the centerpiece of all creation. That in all the ages to come, it will be through you that the manifold wisdom of the Most High will be revealed. And you are the first of your kind. Never before has Yahovah taken of the substance of one of his sons and formed out of that same substance a companion suitable to him. You are the first woman, the first female to ever bear image and likeness of Yahovah. Prior to you, all the realms of the Most High have been sons. You are the one that is the deep mystery. You are the one that all the angels long to understand. Why did Yahovah bring you forth in the manner that he did, hidden like a seed abiding deep within me, sleeping like a seed in my heart? It is in my heart that the Burning One sees you as a rival, not only to his beauty, but to his place. What I haven't yet told you is that in the vision, you were absolutely radiant and filled with the life of our children. The sun fell behind you, and your shadow fell to the ground and filled the whole earth. I watched for what seemed like thousands of years as your shadow filled up with our little ones. I heard their voices, Isha. I listened to them as they sang, and I watched them as they danced, and their colors, Isha, so beautiful. Who could have imagined? Like a great whirling school of fish darting and flashing in the sunlight. As I watched, I saw one of our children in the distance. He was the most beautiful of them all, and he shone like a star in the night sky. As I drew closer, he grew as bright as the sun in the sky above our heads. And this is the deepest mystery of all. How can this be, Yesha? The love that, and this is the deepest mystery of all. Our beautiful son looked like the one we walk with in the cool of the day. How can this be, Isha? The love he had for us and for all his brothers and sisters felt like the love we feel in the presence of the one we walk with in the cool of the day. I watched as he stepped out of your shadow and knelt to the ground where your shadow had fallen. He took your shadow by the hand and somehow had become all of us and lifted us up to stand with him hand in hand. We all then became radiant and filled with light and love, and we became just as he is. We then walked with him hand in hand through a brilliant doorway, and my vision came to an end. This dream is a mystery that is profound to me, too profound to me to grasp. But I know that I was given a true glimpse of the future. I also know that what you decide today, right now, is the fulcrum upon which the destiny of every created being in heaven and on earth balances. Now show me what you have hidden from me. See, Adam, I have touched the fruit and nothing has happened. Death has not happened. The burning one speaks the truth. Put out your hand. See, just like me, nothing has happened. Death is nothing. Let us take this communion together and partake of this meal. The fruit is sweet in their mouth, but bitter in their stomach. Anyhow, that's the dream of Adam. And I believe that there's a nobility or a highness in Eve's motives when she took of the fruit. It's possible, we don't know. This is just a work of fiction. It's not doctrinal. But I think we can glean a deeper understanding into the heart of Eve from the story of Sarah. There was definitely a tragic nobility in the heart of Sarah as she gives her handmaid to her dearly loved husband. And the reason why I wanted to take a pause here, take a time out in the progress through the four rivers, is because we're going to see this theme again. We're going to see a nobility in some of the storylines, a female nobility, and kind of a not so great motive in the hearts of men. That in the same event, there will be a nobility and a highness of purpose in the females, and a base and a lust type of motive in the males. I think this theme will become more apparent as we move forward through the storylines of Genesis. We'll find it again in our next story of Lot and Abraham and the destruction of Sodom. But I think I'll leave this for your consideration right now. I hope that this little narrative blesses you and stimulates meditation, deep thought and prayer, and meaning that can be extracted from these texts and applied to our own lives. So with that, I'll sign off and pick up with part 33 of the Four Rivers of Eden. Thank you for your time.